A new pollination project has launched in York for beekeepers to learn more about what's going on in their hives. The scheme is run by Eat Natural, the British Beekeepers Association and technology company Arnia. And for those involved in the venture, it's the bee's knees.
The idea really is to learn much more about what's going on in our beehives. So what I've got in the hives is a scale which measures the weight of the hive. Over time, as the bees store up the honey, the weight will increase. As the bees work through the honey over winter, the weight will decrease, so I'm able to monitor that. What I've also got in the brood chamber, which is where the queen lives, where she lays her eggs, is a thermometer which will measure the temperature. If the queen's laying, the bees will keep that chamber at a very constant temperature. If that fluctuates, I can tell that there may be an issue with the queen or her laying. There's also a microphone to map the frequency of the buzz from the bees as well. So all of this data is transmitted to a website where I can log on and daily check what's going on in my hives, even if I don't have the opportunity to visit them.
York St John University are also part of the trial and are working on the traditional approach to beekeeping in order to compare it with the new managed technology hive.
The top bar beehive basically lets the bees do what they want to do. They're not managed by queen excluders and that sort of thing. So putting the two hives together with the national hive style and the top bar beehive will give us a better understanding really of how things go on in the hive and how the bees want to draw their comb and not how we want the bees to draw their comb. And with the queen being able to go where she wants to go, we can see what she would naturally do in a hive. So it's just for comparison really. We don't expect to get any great shakes of honey out of the hive. It's more letting the bees do what they want to do when they want to do it.
Julia is buzzing about nature and is passionate about locally sourced produce.
I've been keeping bees for 4 years, and if you ask my mum, she will tell you that when I first started school, she would ask me, "What have you done today at school?" And I would reply, "Played at being bees." So it goes back to me being very, very small, but I think really I'm a gardener. I've always been interested in gardening. I have a couple of allotment plots, and I think as a gardener you're naturally also interested in what pollinators are doing. So that's bees, but also butterflies, hoverflies, wasps and other insects. And it makes you think about what you're planting, what's flowering at any particular time of year. So it's a natural thing for me to go as a gardener into beekeeping. I love seeing all the different colours of pollen. So pollen is not just yellow. Pollen varies massively in terms of its colours. You can get a dark bottle green pollen, you can get almost black pollen. And all that will change week to week depending on what's flowering, from about sort of May to around about early September. Each time I check the bees once a week, I will see something different in there, and it will vary from hive to hive as well. For some strange reason, I saw one bee bringing in blue pollen, and I have no idea where she got it from, and I didn't see it in any of the other hives. But it's that sort of thing, those sorts of surprises that's constantly changing, constantly reflecting what's going on in the local environment that really attracts me.
To be or not to be? Which method of producing honey will be the sweetest? These beekeepers will be waiting in the wings to find out the results. Anna Riley, That's TV.